let's dive into the core ideas behind Jordan Peterson's massively popular and, yeah, pretty controversial bestseller, 12 Rules for Life. This is a book that basically offers a set of principles, an antidote, if you will, for navigating the sheer chaos of modern life. So the book kicks off with this really interesting paradox, right? Think about it. We hate rules. We see them as, restrictive, something that gets in the way of our freedom. But at the same time, don't we kind of crave structure, a clear path to follow? It's a weird contradiction. So what's really going on? Well, to get to the bottom of why we might need rules in the first place, the book says we first have to zoom out and look at its model of reality itself. The whole argument is that our entire experience, everything we go through, plays out on a kind of stage. A stage that's defined by two fundamental, totally opposing forces. Now, this stage is called being, and that's not just the physical, objective world out there. It's everything. It's the whole shebang of human experience. Your thoughts, your feelings, your relationships, all of it. And this being, as he calls it, is basically a constant tug of war between two huge competing principles. Okay, so here's how that duality breaks down. On one side, you've got order. That's the known world, right? Structure, security, everything that's predictable. But on the other side, you've got chaos. And that's the great unknown, the realm of potential and new things, but also danger. The whole book frames reality as this constant dynamic dance between these two forces. It's a lot like the famous Taoist symbol of yin and yang. And this is absolutely crucial. The big idea here is that a meaningful life isn't about just picking a side. It's not about choosing order and hiding from all the chaos, and it's definitely not about just throwing yourself into chaos and abandoning all structure. No, the book argues that real meaning is found by walking that razor's edge right between them. You're grounded in what you know, but you're also bravely stepping out to confront the unknown. Okay, so if life is this big balancing act between chaos and order, what kinds of patterns or structures naturally pop up? This brings us to another huge concept in the book, and that is the idea that hierarchies, they're pretty much inevitable. And this is probably the part of the book you've heard about, because it's memorable. To explain the deep biological roots of things like social status and hierarchies, the author points us to a creature that's been around for hundreds of millions of years. The lobster. Yeah, you heard me right. The lobster. So here's how it works. When two lobsters fight for territory, the winner's brain chemistry literally changes. It gets a big ol' surge of serotonin, which makes it feel confident, more cocky, you could say. The loser, its brain produces less serotonin, so it becomes timid and cautious. And here's the kicker. This directly affects their posture. The winner stands up tall and proud, while the loser kind of slumps and hides. It's a perfect illustration of a primal feedback loop that's been around forever. Now, this isn't just a quirky little fact about crustaceans. The whole point is to argue that this ancient brain circuitry for processing status, well, we have it too. It's deep inside us. And understanding this primitive part of ourselves helps explain why some of the other rules in the book, like compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not who someone else is today, are so important for our mental health. And this winner-take-all dynamic isn't just a social thing either. It turns out it's a kind of mathematical pattern that shows up almost everywhere. It's a principle often called Price's Law. And what it basically says is that in just about any creative or productive field you can think of, a very small number of people are responsible for the vast majority of the results. And once you start looking for this pattern, you see it everywhere. Think about it. A tiny fraction of authors sell almost all the books. A handful of classical composers, your Bachs, your Mozarts, get their music played constantly, while thousands of others are forgotten. A small group of scientists publishes the majority of important papers. The book's point is that this unequal distribution isn't necessarily a flaw in our specific systems. It might just be a fundamental, recurring feature of, reality itself. So, okay, if we accept this picture of reality, with chaos, order, and these naturally forming hierarchies, the next big question is, what do you do about it? How are you supposed to act? And this brings us to what is really the core ethical choice presented in the book. It's a choice between two very different paths. On one hand, you've got the path of expedience. You know this path. It's doing what's easy right now. It's telling those little life lies to get a quick advantage. It's avoiding the hard problems. But then there's the other path, the path of meaning. And that's all about adopting long-term responsibility, speaking the truth even when it's hard, and willingly confronting the messy, chaotic, difficult parts of your life. The book offers a really simple but powerful tool for those moments of total uncertainty. We've all been there, right? Lost in the chaos, you just don't know what to do. The advice is this: tell the truth. It argues that truth is like your compass. It's the one thing that can cut through all the confusion and help you find solid ground again. And that idea is really the foundation for rules like tell the truth, or at least don't lie. And all of this, everything we've talked about so far, the chaos, the order, the hierarchies, the paths of meaning, it all comes together and brings us full circle, right back to the book's very first rule, a rule that's presented as the physical embodiment of this entire philosophy. You see, the argument is that stand up straight with your shoulders back is so much more than just advice from your parents about good posture. It's a way of being. It's a physical, but also a metaphysical statement about how you are choosing to face the world. And this, right here, is really the heart of the whole book. To stand up straight means to voluntarily, willingly accept the burden of being, all the challenges and responsibilities that come with life. It's the very first, most visible sign that you've made a decision to confront difficulty head-on instead of shrinking away from it. And this ties right back to our friend the lobster, doesn't it? It all connects. A slumped posture signals defeat, not just to other people, but to your own ancient brain chemistry. It tells your body to lower serotonin, which increases anxiety. But standing upright, that sends a completely different signal. It tells yourself and it tells the world that you are ready to face a challenge, ready to engage with life, and ready to transform your little corner of the world. So, let's end with this. This is a question that really captures the book's central message, this idea of confronting chaos. It's a call to action, really. It asks you to look at your own life, identify the chaos, the things you avoid, the problems you run from, and to confront them voluntarily. Because the book's ultimate promise is that right there, in the heart of that chaos, is where you're going to find the things that are most valuable.